Well, the trial of a Uvalde school resource officer named Adrian Gonzales began in Texas earlier this morning. Prosecutors are arguing that Gonzales is responsible for the deaths of 19 students and 2 teachers inside Robb Elementary because they say he didn't fast enough engage the shooter. Correspondent Shanelle Kaul live with us now. Shanelle, you're listening in on that case. What are the revelations?
Yeah, we've been listening in since it began, Reed, at about 10:30 a.m. Eastern time this morning. This again, day 1 of this trial. We just moments ago heard from the first witness in this case, a man, Reed, named Gilbert Limones. So this is a pastor who worked at a funeral home just across the street from Robb Elementary School. That, of course, the scene of that mass school shooting that happened over 3 years ago. Now, Limones said today that he saw the shooter firsthand. He saw the shooter walk into the school. He heard those gunshots ring out, and that's when he says he phoned police. Defense also had a chance to question him. During that questioning, they also played the phone call in court, that phone call where he called 911 twice, actually, Reed, telling police about what he saw, what he heard in those moments. And I believe the point of playing that phone call was to illustrate just how chaotic of a scene that really was, and how there may, the defense team is going to argue, been some confusion about exactly what happened, when it happened, and where the shooter was. Now, before that witness took to the stand this morning, we also heard opening statements from both state prosecutors and the defense team laying out their picture of what they want jurors to really understand with regards to the case they're going to make during this trial. Prosecutors we heard from first, they were saying that this was a chaotic scene when the shooting began, but they are saying that Gonzales was among one of the first officers on the scene. They say that he was told by a witness who was on the scene that day of the school shooting where they believe the shooter was, and that they say, didn't act. He didn't follow the shooter. He didn't pursue the shooter that day. That's really going to be the crux of their case against him, was the response time there. We also, Reed, heard from the defense team about their case, their story, and they agreed here that, look, Gonzales actually never confronted the officer, but they have a couple of points that they wanted jurors to understand from their perspective. They said that he did the best that he could with what he had at the time. That was a quote from the defense. They also pointed out that Gonzales wasn't actually assigned to Robb Elementary School specifically. He was employed by the school district. They also, Reed said, quote, "This is not a man who did nothing. This was a man who was confused." I should also note that Gonzales is among 2 police officers who were indicted and charged with respect to what happened that day and law enforcement's response to that shooting, because as we now understand, it took police about 70 minutes to get inside. And at that point, there had been this massacre, right? 19 students were killed. Gonzales now facing 29 counts of child endangerment and abandonment. So some serious charges here. But again, early on in this trial, it is just day 1.
Shanelle Kaul reporting live from our New York News